Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be talking about power and control, which is actually types of abuse, different types of abuse. Most abuses is as a result of power and control. One person wanting to control the other because they are not together, they are married, so they now feel, well, I have the right. I can control this person. I am married to you. I tell you what to do. And that's exactly what you're going to do. It could become physical, either because the individual, your partner, or your wife, your spouse, it goes both ways, don't get me wrong. There are women that's just equally abusive to their spouses, just as the men are abusive to their, spouses as well. It's not one-sided. Women can be abusive to the men can be abusive to the women. So when we talk about physical abuse, it's going to involve physically hitting, shoving, slapping, restraining the person, throwing objects, and sexual assault. All of this come under power. Why will anybody raise their hand to hit the other person? Because you want to prove I'm stronger. I could do this and get away with it. It's all about power and control. The other way is because they have no better way to communicate, they get physical. They can't verbalize things nicely. It leads to verbal abuse as well. From being physical, now they're using demeaning language, threats, name calling, yelling and screaming. That's verbal abuse. So you are in a marriage where you're constantly facing the different types of abuse under the same roof. The same person can equally punish or restrain you financially, controlling the money, preventing the partner from working. Now you are married to me, I want you to be a full-time housewife. You stay in this house, you do what I say. You need money, you get permission. You need to take permission to spend anything. You cannot have a job because I don't want you out there. Other issues happen. Stealing of funds. Partner might say, well, you don't give me the money, I'm going to use your card. Use your credit card, that's stealing of funds. All of this comes just because one person wants to have the power to control the marriage. A lot of other things happen. Then we have sexual abuse. Excuse me. You might say, what do you mean sexual abuse? Forcing the spouse to have sexual acts. Withholding consent. All of this comes under abuse. Monitoring and tracking location, because there's power to control. No trust, so I'm going to control and track every moment, every movement, everywhere you go. Online harassment. So this comes in all different ways. So, based on everything we've gone through, like making a list of our physical abuse, emotional abuse, which can result in psychological problems, intimidation, consistent criticism, under emotional, isolating your spouse from their friends or family members that they were very close So it's like 5 and 6. They have to be with each other all day, all the time. Now they are married. You can no longer talk to this person. That becomes psychological. It does become psychological. Now they're like, oh boy, I can't do anything in the name of marriage. If I say something, verbal abuse, screaming and yelling, name calling, all of that is combined. All the physical, the emotional, the verbal, the financial, anyone that has power to control. Because that's what it is all about. The beating, hitting, slapping, all of that, throwing of objects is control. So, what do we do in a situation like this? Does this mean that's the end of your marriage? You just got married, now you find out you have to deal with this person that was able to hide all of this behavior, unacceptable behavior prior to your marriage. Now everything is coming out. Everything is coming out. Whatever was able to be concealed is now exposed. Is there a way to fix the marriage, even with all this unacceptable behavior? Of course, it will require both parties sit down, talk about it. You have to be very honest with each other. Tell your spouse what you don't like. There's always a trigger to the physical beating and hitting, throwing objects and all of that. There is always a trigger. That's where it starts. What is the problem? Why do this person end up in this situation? Lack of control. Can't control your anger, you get physical. So you tell your spouse, when this or when you do this, it makes me angry. That's a start. We're going to work on eliminating the problem, not stopping the fighting, eliminating the problem. What leads to that situation? What leads to the name calling, humiliation, criticism? What leads to it? There's always antecedents to every behavior. There's an antecedent. That's what you talk about. You work on eliminating those issues. That's what you work on. That will now eventually take away the fighting, the screaming and yelling, name calling. The finances is, I would say, it's easier because you're going to be able to sit down and write out everything. That's when you open to your spouse the income, the expenses, how the money is being spent. Again, we have to remember no lie lasts forever. You cannot hide things. One day it's going to be exposed. That's where you're having the problem. Because if you open from day one, you sit down, even prior to your marriage, you sit down and say, honey, this is the income. You don't wait until you're married and say, oh, I don't want you to work. I want you to be a full-time housewife. If you're making A and she's making B, you put it together, you sit down, you write out everything, your expenses, and how much you're going to be spending. You put money aside for eventuality, emergencies. We do get sick. Things do happen. That's why they are called emergencies. We have to prepare for these things. Once we are able to do that, we are working towards fixing the problem in our marriage. Yes, problems can be fixed. Again, it has to be an agreement between the two parties. We want to make this work. We need to write things down and take the step. Something is required from both of you, from both parties. involved in the marriage. Again, we got to remember to pray. We got to pray because God is the originator of marriage. He has the answers to all our problems. He knows us better than we know ourselves. We might think we know ourselves, but when things happen, sometimes you ask yourself, did I do that? Did I? So you know you really cannot control your steps. So we do need to pray to God, put him in our marriage, and make sure every decision we make starts with prayer. So that's it for today. We're going to talk more next time. Have a good day. Bye for now.